Okay, YouTubers, welcome to my kitchen. And what I'm going to show you now is how to get the berries off the elderberry umbels. It's important that you don't put the stems in your fermentation. I have heard that they're poisonous. I don't know about that, but I do know that anytime you make a red kind of wine, you do not leave any of the sticks or twigs or in there. And the reason for that is because the fruit is going to stay a long time in the fermentation, and so you don't want any off flavors to develop. Now, if you were doing a white wine, what you would leave the stems on your grapes and stuff because it would aid the squishing of the grapes. And because what white wine is done is a little bit different procedure. You actually ferment the juice after you strained out all the trash, so it's a little different. Whereas in red colored wines, elderberry is a red wine, then you don't want that in there because this is going to, the actual pulp is going to stay in the fermentation for quite a while. So you want to get all that stuff off. And a good way, you can do it the way I have done it in the past before I figured out this new way. You can use it with your fingers and just sit there and just tug the berries off the umbels, but it's kind of quicker, I think, and much less messy. I'll try to hold the camera and do this at the same time. I don't know if I'll be successful with this, but you just take a fork, a regular fork, and just rake them off, and that way your fingers don't turn blue and it goes a lot faster. Now, I'm not worried about the little tiny little twigs. I may go in and pick some of the larger ones out, but the main thing is to get most of the fibrous plant material out of what you're going to ferment. So that's how you would get the berries off the umbels. It does take some time, but I'm telling you, it is worth it. Well, while I've got this going here, I've got out some other supplies that we're going to be needing pretty soon. And this here is what you call, if you can see this, is a fermentation bag. It's like a, oh, some of you may remember in the old days you used to put your lingerie in a bag and put it in the washing machine. Well, this is called a fermentation bag. It's a lot like a lingerie bag, except it has much smaller holes. I don't know if you can see that real well. And so I don't think a lingerie bag would work because a lot of the pulp would go right through the fabric. You're going to need that because what you're going to do is you're going to mush up the berries and then put them inside this bag and then drop the bag in your primary fermenter. So a bag is good because that way when you're all done, all you have to do is just lift out the bag and you've taken all the pulp out of your mash. So that's one thing you're going to need. Another thing that you're going to need is something called yeast nutrient. And this I bought, actually it's an organic version. I bought it online from E.C. Krause, who sells a lot of winemaking equipment. He's a little bit expensive, the company is, but their service is excellent. So it might be worth it if you can't find a local vendor for this kind of thing to buy it from them. I like them very much. Just that they're a little high. The other thing, and I bought this at a local actual liquor store, and they did have a winemaking section. E.C. Krause sells this too, but it's much cheaper to buy. It was much cheaper to buy at the liquor store. Now this is Campton tablets. This is a sterilant, and you will add 5 of these tablets to your batch when you first get started, and that will kill all the mold and stuff that's in the berries or whatever else is in there lurking. So you want to clean up get rid of all the natural or occurring bacteria and organisms in your mash before you add the yeast. That way the yeast can really grow. So that's the theory behind that. This is poisonous, and so you know, it's a sulfite, and so just know that. You know, some people may opt not to use it, but I think it's a good idea because you'll get good results with it. The other thing you're going to need is something called acid blend. And what this does is balances the wine. It gives it a nice finish. And so there are ways, when you put this acid blend in, it will make it to the way you want it. You use a couple of teaspoons or something. I have to check my recipe again. But you put that in too. Okay, so those are some of the things, and after I get done forking this, I'm going to go get the primary fermenter, and I'm going to need 5 gallons of distilled water. And that's the other thing, I'm pretty picky on this. A lot of people just use tap water. I do not like to use tap water. It has hard minerals in it, and also personally I'm a little bit leery of fluoride, and so and of course it does have chlorine. Around here in these parts they send out water quality reports from the municipal water, and oftentimes they've goofed and they put too much of any one thing, which you can tell the minute you turn on the tap. Your whole house smells of chlorine. So I don't trust the municipal water supply, and it's worth it for me just to go buy the distilled water. It's 99 cents a jug, and just get 5 of those. And once I've got all this assembled, I'll put the rest of it in our next video, which will be step 3. So see you then. I'm going to get back to forking.